Well, clearly the idea of a barrel rocket go-kart is busted.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, it's never going to work with methanol and an ignition source like the Myths. And secondly, even with all of our modifications, there's no way we could get it to go fast.
Yeah, there is just no way this is ever going to happen. I mean, it's just too heavy, and there's not enough thrust to push that weight.
Well, you know what? I just want to leave it here. So actually, I found an expert who uses the exact same materials: methanol, ignition source, and barrel. And he reckons he can get his rig up to 30 miles an hour and possibly even faster.
Cool.
What are we waiting for?
On a runway in San Joaquin County, the barrel go-kart myth is about to go ballistic.
We're at the New Jerusalem Airport runway. Why? Because we're Mythbusters, and we're not going to be satisfied with that 5-mile-an-hour run we saw with our barrel rocket, and that's being generous. We want to see something impressive. And that is where Bob Maddox comes in.
Absolutely, because if Bob's propulsive prowess can make a push bike jet-propelled, imagine what he can do with a barrel.
This thing is going to be insane.
Now, Bob is one of the few people in the world with the job title Professional Pulse Jet Builder. He's been designing and building these jets for over 20 years. He's taken our barrel rocket design and highly modified it. It may look the same on the outside, but inside it's completely different. And it's gonna be totally badass.
But just what exactly are these badass modifications?
Now, tell us what some of the differences are between ours and yours.
Well, the difference is mostly is we have a one-way reed valve up here in the front. When the explosion goes off, it makes all the gases go out the tail and won't go out the front.
The one-way valve focuses the thrust more efficiently, but the major change is that this pulse jet pulses at heart-stopping speed.
And that happens 70 or 80 times a second inside of this one, where yours was only once every 4 or 5 seconds or whatever.
Let's see if yours will match our whopping 5-mile-an-hour speed.
Bob's about to fire up the barrel rocket car for the first time. Now it's going to be tethered. We're going to turn it on just to make sure everything's working.
All right, Bob, fire it up. All right, let's see if we can tear up this runway.
It's an important tethered systems check. Because as the subtitles make clear, 70 pulses a second is a lot more powerful than expected.
It's a little bit louder, maybe a little more powerful than ours.
That's scary. That's a little scary.
Maybe we should have some safety precautions to keep this thing from flying off into who knows where.
Maybe we should cable it down.
Okay.
That thing is awesome. Now, we know Bob can build a pulse jet engine, but he has never attached it to a go-kart made out of a barrel and 4 bicycle wheels. So we have no idea what's gonna happen. I mean, this thing could explode. It could go flying out of control. So we have taken some extra safety precautions to make sure nothing bad happens. One, we have a steel cable that'll be running down the length of our runway so that our cart stays on track. We also added a kill switch, so if it does go out of control, we can shut it down whenever we want. At the end of the runway, we have K-rails set up, so that way if it does get out of control, it has a barrier to crash into. We'll be standing behind the blast shield while this all takes place. This is gonna be awesome, but most importantly, it's gonna be safe. 4,000 feet of cable. That should keep our cart in line.
It should, but the pulse jet go-kart won't be the only thing on the line. There's also their previous record.
We're going to have to surpass a record here of the last barrel rocket, 5 miles an hour. So for this to be impressive, I want to see highway speeds.
Now, Bob has been perfecting his engine for years. Now, we had 3 days to build ours, and we were able to get it to go 5 miles an hour. I'm hoping his can go faster than ours. I'm pretty sure it will. Or could just explode. Either way, it's gonna be cool.
Guys, seen better days?
And with the sinister Simulate tagging along again, will this finally replicate the results and send the go-kart rocketing?
Bob, it's a moment of truth.
Yep, I'm ready.
You guys ready to fire this thing up?
Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna measure the speed, because I have a feeling he's flying.
All right.
The team retires to a safe distance, and it's over to Bob to initiate launch. And run for his life.
All right, this is Pulse Jet Barrel Rocket on steroids. Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Then the barrel is unleashed. thunders down the runway at speed.
50 miles an hour.
Dude, that was awesome! You know what? This myth is still busted. I mean, look what we had to resort to make this work.
A professional! Oh, Bob, that was awesome.
Nice work.
Finally, after a string of failures, the Mythbusters have gotten their happy ending. The cart jetted a mile down the runway at super speed.
So our barrel rocket, with Bob's help, got up to freeway speed in about 150 yards. Now, I'm certain that if we didn't have this guideline and if we had more space, it could have gone a lot faster, but 50 was all that we needed for this myth. The thing that you don't get, and you're probably not gonna get to experience this in full at home, is the sound this thing makes. It's like,
Finally, we got it to work. We got our barrel jet to go down the runway at 50 miles an hour. Okay, so we had to bring in an expert with a completely different jet engine, but still, we got a barrel with a guy on it going down the runway at 50 miles an hour. This is still busted, but it's pretty awesome.